I'm Felicia.
I'm Ian.
And we are the Paranormal Lovers. Hey guys. Welcome back to another week of the Paranormal Lovers.
Hey guys.
We're going to do a little thing. We're going to try and make this a regular little thing. Bill, what did you love about this week?
This week... Okay, I got one thing I loved. Watching Patty flip on her bike.
My Lord have mercy. This man comes home and he's like, oh, look at this cute video of, our kid riding her little Strider.
She's a daredevil.
Yeah, it's a little bike without pedals on it. Good to help kids learn how to balance. And she's going down a hill and just flips over the handlebars.
She's, as my buddy Justin would call it, she's scorpioned. It's where your feet go up over your head.
She sure did. And I tell you, I had a little bit of a heart attack, but you see her flip over the handlebars and then you just hear, I'm okay.
Yeah, she goes, I'm okay. I'm like, all right, she's good. She was wearing a helmet, so.
Oh yeah, always helmet and pads. Thing I loved about this week, we went to hung out with my best friend yesterday and her family, and it was her daughter's birthday Friday. She turned 6.
Every time I see you at the skateway, it's like you're a teenager again.
I feel like a teenager again. I literally used to hang out there. I wouldn't say every weekend, but, at least like every other weekend I'd go there on the weekends during middle school and high school, and it was fun. It was the place to go. I'm happy we get to share that with our daughter.
Yeah.
So this week we are bringing you another cryptid. Yay, cryptids. And it's a fairly local legend. From the Appalachians to the Midwest, lore of the Wampus Cat has been around for hundreds of years, if not longer. What a Wampus Cat actually physically is changes from person to person, as well as from region to region.
That's kind of like the Bigfoot, huh?
Kind of. There's a kind of like a base thing that everybody takes from it. I mean, obviously it's called the Wampus Cat, so feline, in nature, but...
The big cat.
It changes depending on where you're at and who you ask. Why it is here and what it wants is also changes depending on who you ask.
Right.
Living in North Carolina my whole life, I always heard that it was a Cherokee legend. Whether or not it is a actual Cherokee legend or a story about the Cherokee people, I don't know.
Right.
But it's still interesting. Today I have a couple of legends, quote unquote, that give two wildly different accounts of how the Wampus, how the Wampus Cat came to be. And then there's some fun facts, as well as 3 newspaper articles that I got from newspapernot.com. Not an ad, but it could be. That give accounts of encounters or sightings with the Wampus Cat. And these are like legit newspaper articles.
Right.
Like scanned and uploaded onto the interwebs. It was really fun looking at them and like seeing some of the pictures in the old newspapers.
Right. I bet there was some cool drawings in there.
It's quite interesting.
Were they drawings or like pictures?
One was a drawing. There was a couple of pictures of one of the accounts that I'll talk about. The state. It was like pictures of like the fence and stuff. So there are a few different types of Wampus Cats, but we'll get to that in a minute.
Okay.
There are a few different names. Excuse me. There are a few different names for the Wampus Cat. I am having issues with these notes today. I don't know what's going on. Here in the Appalachians, we just call it the Wampus Cat. Wampus. I'm having a hang on pause. Okay, and we're back. I got it together, I think.
Cool beans.
I got my stylus anyways. Here we go. Oop, oh, son of a monkey. I'm having a day, I tell y'all what. Give me just a second. That works. Okay. So the newspaper articles from newspaper.com, though thought to be several variations of a mountain lion, folklorist Vance Randolph described it as, quote, a kind of amphibious panther that leaps into the water and swims like a colossal mink, end quote.
Huh.
I should have Googled a picture of a colossal mink because I'm scared.
Right.
Minks are cute. Like, I like minks, but a colossal mink? I don't know about that. The names are as varied as the description. You have Galliwampus, Whistling Wampus, or here in Appalachia, we just call it the Wampus Cat. From Wiktionary.org.
One of the wiki pages.
Yeah, it's a wiki. The word cattywampus, meaning out of alignment, in disarray, or disorder, is thought to be related to the word catamount, which is the regional name of the eastern cougar. And it is also the mascot for Western Carolina University. Go Catamounts!
Nice.
No, I did not go there, but I'm close, and I believe in supporting my local teams, so...
Sure.
Fun fact.
It's a good college.
It is a good college. I've thought of going there for archaeology, so... Fun fact, the Wampus Cat has been and is still used as a mascot for a few different organizations and schools. I'm sorry to butcher this. Urary? I don't know. It's one of the forests around here that I can't pronounce. Uwharrie. I feel like it's like urary or something.
You're wary?
The Wampus Cats. It's a wooden baseball team in Albemarle, North Carolina. Leesville High School in Leesville, Louisiana has the Wampus Cat as its mascot, as well as Atoka High School in Atoka, Oklahoma, and
Hello, train.
Itasaka High School in Itasaka, Texas. And we're sorry to hear the train in the background. We're like 100 feet from a railroad that goes over a road.
Yeah,
so
you'll be able to hear the engine in this.
Yeah, we may have to find a different place to record because this is ridiculous. Conway Junior Senior High School in Conway, Arkansas has it as their mascot as well. And Heather Kendrick, spokesperson for Conway, Arkansas Public Schools, describes it as a long blue cat with a white tail. It's got 6 legs, 4 for running and 2 for fighting. That's like their little school slogan for the Wampus Cat. Clark Fork Junior Senior High Schools in Clark Fork, Idaho has the Wampus Cat as their mascot, and their mascot is a yellow cougar with a spiked ball on its tail, akin to the legend of the ball-tailed cat. Sorry. Because I am who I am, I looked up what a bald-tailed cat is. From Wikipedia, quote, the bald-tailed cat is a fearsome critter of North American folklore, most commonly described as having similar traits to that of a mountain lion, except with an exceedingly long tail to which there is affixed a solid bulbous mass for striking its prey, end quote. So yeah, that's fun. I'm good. Wampus Cat has found its way into, of course, entertainment, mainstream entertainment as well. Recording from 1937 to 1938, there was a musical ensemble that included Oscar Buddy Woods that was billed the Wampus Cat, and that was really, really loud. Let me...
Yeah, turn your phone down, Bill.
Mute that. My bad. That was not ours. That belongs to Disney. So don't come at me, Disney. I'm sorry. Yeah, so there was a group called the Wampus Cats. I don't really like talking about J.K. Rowling because she's transphobe. We don't support that. She does talk about a Wampus Cat in the Potterverse. And this one's for you, babe. I saw this and I screamed because I was like, he's going to love this. Kobold Press created a monster inspired by the Wampus Cat for D&D Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition in the source book Tomes of Beast.
Nice.
From Wikipedia, quote, the Wampus Cat appears as female mountain lions with the head of human, trollkin, orc, or goblin women and are created through curses leveled by shamans upon women who practice forbidden magic. Possessing the ability to enthrall others with their voice, Wampus Cats despise all men, but especially holy men, priests, and shamans whom they seek to kill in retribution for their fate, end quote. So, and we've talked about, I told you, I kind of want to get into, a D&D campaign, even though I know that they take a really long time.
Yes, they do.
I don't have a lot of patience, but I think I found my character.
I didn't even know that they were in the monster manual.
Yeah, I think I found my character, though. So, if we ever get a D&D campaign going, you're going to have to deal with a Wampus Cat.
I mean, it wouldn't be the first time people use monsters as a character, or a main character.
I mean, why not? It's all about being creative, right?
I used a giant when I was a teenager, so.
I could see that, because you were really tiny.
I was like, well, I didn't want to play the normal D&D characters. I was like, why can't I pick one out of the monster manual?
I mean, I don't see why not. I mean, don't come at me, D&D people, okay? I've never played. My brother played a lot. We did magic and all that, but
everybody was like, how are you going to do that? I was like, we'll just make up our own leveling system for it.
Yeah.
I mean, you're telling the whole story anyway, so why not?
You have to, build these characters and, all of this big thing about, their backstory and stuff. You can pretty much make up any character you want, I would think.
We made it work.
Go for it. So this first legend I have for you is short. This one speaks of a shape-shifting witch who would kill livestock in her cougar form. One night, she was caught by local farmers while transforming back into her form. The men attacked her, and thinking they had left her for dead, they did not. But she was stuck forever in the middle of her transition. Half woman, half cougar.
A wampus.
Wampus. One of the supposed legends of the Cherokee people tells the tale of a woman who was punished for seeing something she wasn't supposed to see. A wife wanted to know about the rituals her husband and the other hunters performed before going out on a hunt. These rituals were to give thanks to the land for providing and ask for forgiveness for taking the lives of the animals they would be hunting, as well as asking for supernatural and paranormal help. No matter what she said or did, her husband wouldn't tell her anything. So, one night when they went out to hunt, she wrapped herself in a cougar hide so that she could sneak out of the village to watch the rituals. She was so caught up in what she was seeing, she did not realize how close she was getting to the firelight in the clearing until she was spotted by the shaman. She was brought out to the clearing, where a spell was set upon her. As punishment, the pelt was molded to her body, and she became a hybrid of cougar and human. She was cursed to walk the mountains alone and never able to join her tribe again. I don't like that one.
That's sad.
It is sad, and my main problem with it is the thought of them punishing women in this way.
Right.
Just from some stuff I've heard lately, because I love following Indigenous people on Instagram. And
Oops, sorry, guys.
He's over here slapping his mic. I've been listening to a lot of podcasts that are done by Indigenous people and stuff, and so I just don't see them punishing a woman like that.
Right.
I feel like that was more like a colonizer thing.
Maybe.
Because I know that there are a few tribes that were and still are matriarchal in nature, or at least, men and women are at least on the same footing.
Right.
At least that's the way it was way back in the day. I can't speak on it now. I'm not a part of the community, but just from things I've read and heard other people talk about, it's the way it used to be.
Right.
But that's why I said that these could just very well be stories about the Cherokee people, not necessarily their legends.
Right.
But if they were, I would vote for this one.
It's like the Brown Mountain Light story that I told. It wasn't from an actual Cherokee person, so I don't know if it's like they made it up or did like the white people make it up after to like explain it, Yeah,
and exactly. And people can say what they will about it, but history is written by the victors, and I take very little stock in what I find online a lot of times because you just don't know what people are writing on there either.
Right.
So I don't know how they feel about this legend. I know with some legends, like, we'll call them flesh pedestrians, like Morbid does, or trigger warning skinwalkers.
Right.
They really don't like that. They don't want to hear about it. So we're going to talk about the legend of Iwa, who is a demon of madness, spirit of madness. So if anybody doesn't like that, you can just skip ahead a little bit.
Like Sheagorath.
Yeah, but not
Cheese.
Like that. Not like that. So there's a demon called Iwa, the spirit of madness, was terrorizing a local village. During the meeting of shamans and war chiefs, it was decided to send their strongest warrior to kill the demon and bring honor to his family. Standing Bear, or Great Fellow, depending on the source, was the greatest and most respected warrior in the whole Cherokee Nation. He was chosen to slay the demon. As he left for his mission, he was blessed by the shamans and armed with the best weapons by the war chiefs. His final farewell was from his wife, Running Deer. Neither realized it would be the last time he would ever be the same. This computer is not working with me today.
Yeah.
Weeks, maybe a couple months passed without any word from Standing Bear until one night he returned to the village. But the brave, strong warrior was gone. In his place was a madman who would scream and claw at his own eyes. Within time, he was able to work in the fields or to go out to gather food. Here's where I have another problem with, admittedly, my own limited knowledge of the Cherokee people. It was said in the story that he would never be able to be, quote, unquote, a good husband again.
Huh.
And it is said that at the time he would have been considered dead and his name would have never been spoken. But just of what I've witnessed from living close to the eastern band of the Cherokee people, or the Cherokee Indian, the reservation.
Right.
They have a lot of respect for their elders within their community, so I don't see them necessarily shunning somebody, but again, take it for what it is.
Yeah.
However, it is said that Running Deer loved her husband and wanted revenge for him, so she went to the shamans to ask to be able to go on the hunt for the demons. The shamans by the shaman, she was given a booger mask, a mask with a bobcat face, and a special paste that would cover her smell as well as hide her body. She was warned that while the spirit of the mountain cat can stand against the Iwa, it would be up to her to make sure that she had the element of surprise. After days of searching, Running Deer came across strange footprints and a piece of her husband's armor. She creeps upstream until she comes upon the demon drinking from a mountain spring. And she creeps as close as possible before she jumps out towards the demon. Iwa turns and spots the mask. The spirit of the mountain cat turns his power back on him, and he starts clawing and tearing at himself as he falls into the stream. Running Deer goes back to her village and is given the name Running Deer the Spirit Talker and Home Protector. It is believed that the spirit of running deer lives in the Wampus Cat, protecting her tribal lands and its people. Now that, I dig that story.
Right.
With the little meh about her husband. But,
yeah.
like, she's like, okay, you done mess with my man. I'm coming for you.
I'm going on catty wampus on you.
I'm gonna go catty wampus on you real quick. That I love. Like, get it, running deer, spirit talker, and home protector.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Now, this is a cryptid, but Cheese and Rice Bill just beating up his microphone today. There have been news reports of the Wampus Cat, like news reports with Mothman or Sasquatch. During the 20s and 30s of the 1900s, sounds weird. There were several reports of Wampus Cats attacking livestock all throughout the Appalachians of North Carolina and Georgia.
Sure.
I found 3 articles that I'm going to tell you about today. Again, from newspapers.com, not an ad, but could be. On page 6 of the Leaf Chronicle on February 18th, 1914, the headline reads, Wampus Cat found. More vicious than a lion, with 4 feet like a badger and hind feet like a deer.
Weird.
Woo! This is my least favorite of the articles because of the language. They just say Negro a lot, and it makes my skin crawl, and I don't like it because we're not Negroes. But anyways,
right.
And it claims that the lore comes from black people trying to scare their kids. Like, okay, I get that, but where did they hear the lore? Like,
right.
But if you were to read the full article, which of course you can find, you could see how problematic the language is. So, for my own peace of mind, I'm going to switch out Negroes for hunters.
Okay.
We're going to call them that. So, hunters claim to have seen a black animal about the size of a calf, but shorter. One of them fired their weapon at it, wounding it. Another hunter then used his rifle to pin the beast down until the others could tie it up. It was then taken to Arkadelphia for exhibition.
Huh.
Yeah. Also, great name. Arkadelphia. Okay. The Wampus Cat was described in the article as such. It had the head and body of a cat. It had ears with short hair on the head. It had small ears. Of course it had ears, but what kind of ears? It had small ears with short hair on the head, but long black hair on the body with white spots. It had a long tail with short, stocky legs, and the legs were the most interesting feature. Interesting. The front feet looked like a bear paw with the shape of a badger, and it had long claws. The back feet were cloven, Satan, like a deer, or Satan. The beast was on display for 3 days before it escaped, never to be seen again.
Huh.
Mm-hmm.
Weird.
Now, that was 1914, and yellow journalism was at its peak at the time.
Right.
On the front of the Knoxville front page of the Knoxville News Sentinel on October 1st, 1937, the headline read, Wampus Cat roaming again? Washington Pike neighborhood frightened by prowlings of mysterious beast. By Bert Vincent. And this is a quote of the first paragraph. Wampus! Wampus Cat! This strange animal that frightened Washington Pike folk half to death 20 years ago. This beast with eyes as large as saucers and a body as long as a railroad tie. The Wampus Cat! Is it prowling again? Sorry, I like these, when you see it,
it's
newspaper
like a cartoon
clipping,
strip.
Yeah, and it's just got like this big word, like that one was just Wampus in bold letters, like right across the top, bigger than the paragraph underneath it.
Right.
The article gives a few accounts of the Wampus Cat's rampage through the neighborhood, including one disturbing but equally humorous account of Dr. Williams finding 24 of his 25 chickens slaughtered.
Dang.
The beast continued his chicken hunting, whoop whoop, for at least a week. So it wasn't a Wampus Cat. It was a juggalo.
It was a juggalo.
Let's go chicken hunting. There were claims that the neighborhood dogs started acting real timid and anxious all during the day. At night, they would wake up or keep up people with their nonstop howling. It was reported that the middle of the night howling happened as far away as Asheville, a distance of 120 miles from Washington Pike.
Huh.
And I know because I Googled it.
Right.
It would seem that this cat enjoyed killing for sport. Of the 24 chickens slaughtered at Dr. Williams's, only one actually had a bite taken from it. The rest of it were simply crushed to death by the jaws of the beast, with no bites being taken.
Weird.
Yeah. The area the beast was currently hunting on was a populated area, but each house had a deep yard that was overgrown with wild plants. The first time the community dealt with the beast was at the end of the First World War. Quick side note, it tripped me up when I read the article, because in the article it said the World War.
Right.
So I think this was, 1937 or something? So there was only one World War. And It's a little weird to, read stuff and you see something like that and you go, but which one? And then you think, well, there was only one at the time.
Right.
So it was just a little thing that tripped me up a little bit. But most people choose to believe it was a leopard or a jaguar that had escaped from the circus. Not only did it attack livestock, but it slaughtered and mutilated pets as well. That was the first time the Wampus Cat terrorized the neighborhood.
Right.
But according to Dr. Williamson, the one that attacked his chickens wasn't as large as that. It had also left some brown or reddish colored hair in the fence of his chicken coop, and that was the picture I was telling you about earlier. You can see a picture of the fence ripped off, and there's feathers and then a little tuft of fur stuck to it.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, thinking reddish hair, fox
or bear, a big brown bear.
It's too big.
Too big.
Too big. It would be something probably I'm thinking probably maybe the size of a fox.
Maybe a red panda.
A fox or a dog. But I mean, a red panda, maybe. It's cute.
So cute.
I don't know. But then again, and I don't know a lot about foxes and their behaviors, but I don't know about a fox just killing 24 chickens just because.
In the dark, though, it might look bigger.
Maybe.
You see something in the dark, and you're like, what is that?
Yeah. But have you ever heard of a fox just killing chickens? Just for fun?
Oh, yeah.
They just kill chickens for fun?
Yeah, foxes will.
Little shits.
Fox and the hen?
Well, I mean, I know that they'll kill, they eat their eggs and stuff.
Right.
And sometimes they'll kill the chicken.
Yeah.
I know that
they're more scavengers.
Hunt.
Anything, but.
Yeah, I know that they'll hunt and eat chickens and eggs and stuff.
I don't know if they kill a bunch of them, though.
But, they didn't, the 24 chickens, I guess if 24 of his 25 chickens was killed and only 21 of them had a bite, so 23 of the chickens, there were no bites taken out of them.
Right.
And that's where I just don't see a fox just being just kill it and leave it here.
Maybe a rabid dog.
Maybe. So I'm going to give you this article. I'll quote it in full because it was fairly small. But this shows the power of mass hysteria. This is on the front page of the Greenville News, Greenville, North Carolina, on May 14th, 1964. This is an article about people claiming to have spotted a Wampus Cat. And then a bunch of idiots thinking, just wait. Idiots. Headline. 500 persons in North Carolina armed for cat hunt.
500.
500. And this was in Clinton, North Carolina.
Kind of know where that's at.
Yeah. The article states, quote, Johnson County residents, 500 strong, have been combing the wooded Williams Mills crossroads section for a creature bearing all earmarks of a genuine Wampus Cat. The sheriff's department has made pursuers put away their rifles and shotguns, and in general, officials poo-pooed the whole business. No animals have been killed, no property has been damaged, no one has been attacked, said Sheriff Howard Olive Jr., but reports are flying that a creature variously described as a gorilla, an 8-foot man with a scarred face, and a monster with great big feet is stalking the countryside. The creature is reported on the prowl in Greensboro, 15 miles from Clinton. The creature was reported on the prowl in Goldsboro, 15 miles from Clinton. James Holloman called Goldsboro police at 1:42 a.m. Wednesday to report that, quote, a big man with great big feet, end quote, was in a field near his home. Police didn't find anything. Wally Strickland of Smithfield, Route 2, said he saw a monster, quote, like a 10-foot gorilla, end quote, stalking the highway near Williams Mill. Early Tuesday night, a report circulated that the creature was eating at a picnic table at Holt Pond near Clinton. Just having a little picnic. It's Yogi.
Yogi.
Some 500 residents of Johnson County showed up with rifles, shotguns, and knives. Sheriff Olive made them take the weapons home and said he hoped the people would stay home too. End of article.
So, like, Bigfoot?
Well, I thought personally the
really
last one sounded like Nobby.
Yeah.
If you go back to episode 1. But
you're just standing around, kind of chilling.
Yeah, and like having a picnic. But, you know, me being who I am, of course I looked up to see how far Cesar was from Clinton, and it's 250 miles. So unless Nobby has a very big, you know, range that he likes to stay in,
right,
they might have their own Squatch.
But they were hunting for a Wampus.
They were hunting for a Wampus, but a Wampus is not an 8 to 10 foot gorilla with big feet.
Ooh.
A Wampus is a cat.
I think they were confused.
I did find one other article.
Confused.
Yeah. I did find one other article that I didn't write down, but I still thought was pretty interesting. And it talked about a Wampus cat, and it talked about this old man that would go out and he'd go fishing.
Mm-hmm.
And one day he caught a Wampus cat, and it pulled him in the river, and he was never seen from again. But in that article, the Wampus cat was a catfish.
So, yeah, that's what I was about to say. So it's a catfish.
Yeah. So in that one, it was a catfish. But,
I mean, I've seen some big catfish.
Yeah, and we've got local legends like Fontana. There's a legend of like a Volkswagen-sized catfish that has eyes the size of dinner plates.
Right.
That eats people. But
I could see an old drunk fisherman like catching a big old catfish, being like, "Oh God, it's a cat!
It's a catawampus! What is this?
Get it off my line! I ain't touching that thing."
Right? Yeah, I wonder what they sound like though. I actually watched a video. You'd be proud of me, Bill.
I like the blue cat description. Like the blue with the white tail or white spots or whatever.
Yeah, the long blue cat with the long white tail.
Yeah.
I like it
too. I picture like the Grood cat.
The Grood.
The Groods.
The Groods. Oh, the Croods.
Yep.
I gotcha. Yeah, I would imagine.
Like that cat.
Yeah, I think that's probably what the Wampus cat looks like.
It's all like stripes and different colors and, you know.
Maybe. Which I think if it's a Wampus cat here, you know, it'd probably be camouflaged. But, Yeah, I like the thought of like the big cat, whether it's blue or yellow, with like the long tail with the spike ball on the end of it.
Yeah, that's a cool description too.
It makes me
That
think
sounds
of, like,
more like
the
a
dinosaur.
like a D&D description of it.
Yeah, but it makes me think of like the dinosaur that has like the big ball on the end of it and it slaps people around with it. Bumpy.
Stegosaur, or I think it's not a stegosaur. But
I don't know.
like Bumpy.
I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know their scientific names, but I can tell you it was Bumpy from Camp Cretaceous.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, that's that. We are next week's 10 episodes, Ian.
Yeah.
Holy shit!
The Big 10. Woo.
Double-digit episodes. This is.
Yay.
I'm really excited about that. This has been fun, and I'm excited to see where this podcast is going to go.
Yeah, I'm having fun doing it.
I'm having fun doing it, and we're talking to some other people, and maybe
we're starting to meet people now.
Maybe we'll have some friends on soon, some guests on here to liven it up a little bit. We'll see.
Be cool.
If you guys would like, you can head over to Instagram and follow us at The Paranormal Lovers. You can send us an email for a personal story or a topic or just to say hi.
Give us some comments.
Just message us.
We like
and
talking to
hi.
people, so.
Yeah, email us at theparanormallovers@yahoo.com. If you're listening on Spotify or iHeart, but you know people that only listen on Apple Podcasts, we are now on Apple Podcasts, which means we are also on all the platforms that they have underneath their umbrella as well. So if you listen on Apple Podcasts, please leave us a review and rate us. Is that about it? That it?
Please like, listen, subscribe.
Yeah, all the above.
All that stuff.
We love having you guys here, and we will see you guys next week.
See you guys.
Bye.
Peace out.